Hey guys, and welcome back to the CTFC Perspective, and in today's video we're doing a match review of Cheltenham Town versus Leyton Orient. I do not want to waste much of your time for this intro, but may I just please ask quickly, if you haven't already, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, it would mean the world to us, because if you subscribe then we grow, and then when we grow as a channel, better and bigger things can happen. But apart from that, let's get straight into the video, let's get this show on the road. So what is the first thing we do on match reviews? That is telling you guys the team. So as you can see on screen, these are the lineups. Cheltenham Town, obviously same formation, very little changes. Griffiths in goal, a back three of Long, Tozer and Raglan, with a midfield five, or back five, however you want to call it, of Hussey, Sercombe, Thomas, Wright and Blair, with the front two being May and Williams. The three players to make it off the bench were Sam Smith, Finn Azaz and George Lloyd. For Leyton Orient, however, they did play more of a 4-2-3-1 with the three attacking midfielders, it seems. With Vigouroux in goal, a back four of Widdowson, Happy, Turley and Ling, the two CDMs of Kiprianu and Clay, with the three cams of Brophy, Kemp, Wilkinson, and the final man, Johnson up top. The two players to make off the bench were Tristan Abrahams and Nicholas Freeman. With the lineups out the way for you guys, let's get into my favourite part of the video as a fan, the live reaction. Guys, for the first 20 minutes, no real big things to shout about. Well, I say 20 minutes, we're about 19 and a half minutes in so far. Cheltenham with a throw-in in the opposition's half. Leyton Orient did have a scary moment as Cheltenham were passing around the back. The keeper did not see the attacker pressing him, and he almost took it away from him just before Griffiths was allowed to boot it out. And the only other thing for Cheltenham to shout about, apart from a few long throws and corners, which we haven't really done the best with, apart from, a little bit of pressure and scaring Leyton Orient defenders in their box. But yeah, apart from that, like I said, Williams had one chance about 8 yards out. It somehow rolled to him and he struck it wide. Really should be doing better there for a striker of his age and his experience. But yeah, like I said, 20 minutes in, not that much to talk about. But on the lines of Leyton Orient, this is what happened the last time we played Leyton Orient, and well, it might finally come true. Replay it. Ball, the keeper goes to try and get the ball, tries to try and get it with his fist, punches through the man, Andy Williams, back of the head. Cheltenham have a penalty, chance to go 1-0 up. Connor Thomas, come on, you don't miss penalties. 29 minutes, 59 seconds on the clock. Ref's checking the ball, checking both players okay. Seems like he's trying to check the whistle. Come on, there's no room for error now. Referee blows his whistle. Let's go! Bottom right hand corner, sends the keeper the wrong way. 30 minutes on the clock, 1-0 Cheltenham. Come on, boys! The Town are going up. The Town are going up. 35 minutes played, Cheltenham with a long throw. Come on, boys, let's make the most of this. Keeper's messed with it. Smash it! Oh. He's put the entire world behind that ball. He's put every single thing he has behind him, but it's gone slightly wide. 35 minutes played. This is turning out to be a very good half of Cheltenham. If we can be more clinical and we can take our chances, this could be a very, very interesting game. Cheltenham have made a movement. We've made the initiative of the league. Players don't want to give away throw-ins. They'd rather give away corners. There was a moment where the defender, Happe, was hesitating giving away a throw-in because they know how dangerous we are. And if we can set that feeling to our opponents, we set that fear, then we'll all automatically have the advantage from the start of the game. And that is all good signs for Cheltenham. Such a good half so far. Half-time whistle blows, and for a first half recap, we can't really complain from a Cheltenham perspective, apart from the refereeing decisions. I think a few more should have and could have gone our way, but apart from that, it's just been a solid performance. We've had our attacking chances, we defended pretty solid. Apart from that, almost chance for Leyton Orient in the first couple of minutes. But yeah, like I said, great first half performance. If we can repeat that in the second half, then we have a simple victory, and those 3 points, those valuable 3 points, which will put us back at the top of the league. For a quick 5-minute recap, the first 5 minutes of the second half, one word you can describe it is absolutely hectic. Okay, it's been down each end. It seems like Leyton Orient just trying to punt it long. Cheltenham have had multiple chances in Leyton Orient's box. There was a penalty shout. There was a few chances where we arguably should have got it at the front and back post, but they cleared it very well. And yeah, it doesn't seem very bright for Leyton Orient at the moment, but as you know, it just takes something like that to flick the switch and the game gets turned on its head. So let's see if Cheltenham can hold on. Come on, seems to be around 40 minutes left of the game. Let's go. I don't usually do highlights from the other team, but this absolutely deserved it. With Hussey giving away a silly foul around the, closer to the corner flag, but around the edge of the area. They whip it in from a free kick. They get a front post header, flick it on, and keeper with an absolutely amazing reaction save. It's one of those which you kind of expect the keeper to make, but it's still hard enough nevertheless, as it's coming straight at you. You have to try and dive backwards and tip it over the bar, but he managed to deal with it rather nicely. It's given a corner to Leyton Orient, but you know, a corner is better than conceding a goal. So, like I said in previous videos, I know you don't really like the long live reactions, so I've tried to, not add in, the little intricate details, which there were chances, but not the most happened. There have been multiple chances in the second half, but like I said, no clear cut, no big, oh my god, this needs to be on camera moments. So it is now the 91st minute, and Cheltenham, I hope, are going to ease this victory, remaining at 1-0. We kind of should have, we should be about 3, 4, or maybe even 5-0 up in this game. We played really well, but we're not clinical enough and our strikers can't take their chances. But yeah, 3 minutes added time, so around 2 minutes left. We should be hanging on here, and I'll see you guys in the post-match reaction unless another goal goes in. There you go, we did it. Cheltenham Town are top of the league once more. Come on, we're training, we're on our train to the trophy. Come on, boys, you already know it. But, before we get the celebrations take over us, let's get into the match facts. So, as you can see on screen, thanks to a 31st minute penalty by Connor Thomas, silly goalkeeping there, these are the facts. Cheltenham Town with 41% possession compared to Leyton Orient's 59%. I thought it would be a little bit more even than this, but considering Cheltenham majority just either booted it long or went for set pieces, we kind of understood it would be roughly like this. With 10 shots to Leyton Orient's 2, however, it really shows that, granted, we didn't have the best conversion rate or on target rate, we made a lot more with our possession rather than just aimlessly passing around the back, a bit like what Leyton Orient did for the last 20 or so minutes of that game. Shots on target, 2-1. They actually had a better conversion rate with shots on target, but when you're not putting them back in the net, it doesn't mean anything. We had 5 corners there too. If we're talking about set pieces, I'd probably say we had about 15, because I believe we had a few free kicks, and we had a lot of throw-ins. Obviously, throw-ins are a lot more dangerous than our corners, and Leyton Orient had 2. I think they actually messed with us around for one of them, but the other one was a very wayward cross. Finally, you have fouls. They committed more fouls because they were getting angrier late in the game because they really needed that goal to get back in it, which sadly they didn't get. But obviously sadly for them, we're very happy about it, picking up the 3 points at home and carrying on to that title push. Moving on to the controversial part of the video, as always, we have the player ratings, this being the best player and the worst player for either team. Starting off with Cheltenham Town, obviously, as they were playing at home. For the best player at Cheltenham Town today, I'm going to have to go with Callum Wright, because obviously he didn't get the goal. That was a Connor Thomas penalty, but he was buzzing around like a buzzing bee all day long, causing havoc every single player that he pressed. He usually either got the ball or made them make a mistake. He was putting some good passes together. He was a real stringing everything together at that start of that second half, and I believe he played very, very well, and he deserves all the praise for the young lad, and I hope it makes you well in his career, because he's doing very well at Cheltenham Town. Now, obviously, it's a bit hard to do the worst player in a victory, but personally, people are going to say different players. They might say a defender, a midfielder, or maybe one of our strikers, because the conversion rate just wasn't good enough today, and it hasn't been for a very long time. Even though we're at the top of the league, we could be scoring a lot more goals than we are. But I'm going to have to go with Hussey. I saw him whip in a couple good crosses, and obviously when you're keeping a clean sheet, you can't do that bad for a wing-back. But I'm going to have to give it as Hussey as the worst player on the pitch for Cheltenham Town, just because the amount of crosses I saw him whip in that were just aimlessly, and they just weren't going anywhere, and they're very easy for the Leyton Orient defence. For that reason, when I want my wing-back to be getting forward and putting in the key crosses, and if he isn't doing that, I'm just going to have to give it to Hussey for the worst player on the pitch. You then have a bit of a harder decision because obviously you're choosing Leyton Orient players, and I don't know the most about Leyton Orient careers, I'll be 100% honest to you guys. But when I'm going through today's performance alone, I'm going to have to give the worst performance to GOOOOO, because as the goalkeeper, you can't be giving away penalties like that. It was a very stupid decision, it was a long ball. I know you can't exactly let it bounce, but just be a bit more strategic and tactical awareness with your decisions, and not just try and punch through it and be unaware that you're going to punch a player in the back of his head. You know, you kind of have to take those things into consideration. So that's why he is going to be the worst player for Leyton Orient. You know, he made a few big saves, but when you're the reason why your team have lost, I know obviously the goalkeeper gets a lot of blame, but when you're the actual reason your team have lost, there are no excuses. Then, I know obviously he's part of the defence which conceded, but from what I saw today, Happy had a very, very good game. Clearances, challenges, a few deflections, a few blocked shots, every single thing you want from your centre-back you're doing. I can't remember him doing that much wrong. He might have been pressed, but I also remember he skilled his way out of pressure a couple times as well. A very good performance. I do not know roughly how old he is, but if he's a young talent, then he's a very, very good and promising talent for many years to come. And it looks like he could go up the ranks if performances like today are reoccurrences. Yes, referring back to my previous point, 22 years old, playing the majority of the games for Leyton Orient this season with a 75% tackle success rate. That's exactly what you want from your centre-back. Now, come on, it's a lot of you guys' fans' favourite part of the video. Let's throw it on screen. Come on, we thought this would never end. We're top of the league. We're top of the league. With a game in hand, we're on 72 points, 40 matches played, 21 wins, with a positive 19 goal difference. Second place, Cambridge, is now on 71 points after a game more than us, 41, with a 1 goal better goal difference, to be fair to them. Then falling all the way down behind that on 67 points. So we're talking we have a 5-point lead on third place. Bolton Wanderers, 40 games played once more. Then 65 Tranmere, 63 Morecambe, and 62 Forest Green in 6th position. You know, they've really fallen off. That's a 10-point gap between us and Forest Green. If you're talking to us and the bottom of the promotion playoffs, we're talking Newport County on 61 points. We're looking very safe for the automatics. Obviously, there's not too many games left. And if we're talking between us and 4th position, we still do have a 7-point cushion. Referring to Leyton Orient, however, they find themselves very much mid-table, 12th position, 40 games played as well, with 16 wins, but those 15 losses really coming to hurt them, with a positive 3 goal difference on 57 points. If they did get the 3 points today, they could have gone as high as 8th, nearly 7th. You know, that's a very big 3 points at this stage of the season, showing that it's still very tight. If they strung a bit of form together, they could very easily get into the playoffs. That shows how actually it wasn't a very simple and easy victory for Cheltenham today. We managed to pull out of the bag, and very well played by the Cheltenham boys. Crawley away being Cheltenham next game, you'd expect us to pick something up from that, but obviously nothing is guaranteed in this league, and we're always hoping for those extra 3 points so we can sing like we sang at the end of last season, but it sadly didn't come true thanks to the disease which will not be named. I know I've already played it once in this video, but come on, one last time for the old days' sake, for times where we're allowed in stadiums. Hopefully we are soon, but replay it one more time. And that is about it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. We really hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did enjoy it, if you wouldn't mind smashing that like button, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that notification bell so you know when a video goes live. If you have any questions or queries, drop it down to the comment section. And we love to interact with you guys, and we love to answer every single one of them, because obviously community interaction is key. There are going to be 2 videos like this on screen very shortly, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.